Hey, Fitheads, coming at you with another Max Alley episode. The prompt is I should have a shirt off. What am I doing?
The prompt is, what is our combo name? We tried to think of it last time and it was terrible. Sax. Spax. Spax.
Spax, I like that.
No, you don't. That's terrible.
Oh, fine. Secretly buys Spax.com.
How about Malik Spagnola sleeves? Ugh, terrible. I hate it.
Can't wait for this bit to lose all of our listeners. Lord. Okay. So it's lovely out today in LA, as it always is.
Even though we're both indoors.
Yeah. I know. And I have my garage shut too, because it's noisy otherwise. You can't podcast outside. You can't do it.
You look like you're in, when like people are born in movies and it's just like, they're like, what is this? I've never seen this before. Like their consciousness is born. That's what your gym looks like.
Like limbo or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, nothing to do. Better do some handstand push-ups.
I love it. There we go. Lights came on.
Perfect.
Okay. So technically right by now I would already have my summer bod. But this
Did you
podcast,
say the prompt?
No, the podcast subject is
when you
prepare
for
some
summer activities. Normally
you would expect to.
This is terrible. This is so stupid.
You can see how much thought we put into these Max Alley episodes. No, actually, all the past ones, I've like had bulleted lists of what we're going to talk about, and then we end up like just riffing, and I'm like, whatever, that's fine. We'll talk about our combo name. But the point of this episode is to talk about getting that summer bod. It is warm out now. Like I said, technically I would already have my summer bod at this point, April 27th, as of this recording.
It's almost May. Wow, look at that. What a year it's been.
Good We're not even there. You thought it was May?
I said, what a year it's been. Oh. It really, you know what? I know it's April 27th, but really it feels like March of 2020.
We're still here.
We've just been doing nothing. So the question is, how do you get your summer bod? Let me back up for a second. When do you get your summer bod?
Great question.
Great question. All year round. You gotta stay ready.
What are you, Scott Matheson again? Constantly doing low carb, super lean. It's not worth it.
Soup's lean. Not only is it super lean, but it's like clearly no alcohol, clearly no milkshakes. You know what I mean? Like clearly nothing even resembling bread.
We don't have a good time.
Maybe Ezekiel bread or some weird stuff like that, but not real.
But honestly, if I had to give up all that stuff for pre-workout, I would. No question. Like that is the number one thing that like redeems everything else. Like sure, if you're on a diet, you could still have pre-workout. There's a reason to wake up in the morning.
For me, this is kind of a weird one, but for me, when I am eating very lean, when I am eating no carb, very clean, lean, whatever, I find my hangovers are insane, terrible. But when I have a lot of bread in me, who cares? Let's just do some more shots, baby. Kamikazes.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like, okay, the people that eat McDonald's all the time can handle McDonald's. And like the reason I work out is so that like I can handle the stairs, right? You indurate your body to this stimulus so that you're tougher. And instead with food, I'm making myself so weak. All I can have is broccoli and chicken and anything else. And I'm like, ill.
Yeah, exactly. You're like peanuts. Oh, my tummy hurts. Yeah. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Wouldn't you rather be just tough to anything? It feels like so antithesis of what I'm trying to do with my body. You know, it makes you less tolerant of so much.
Makes you less tall for sure. Yeah. I think a lot of times I like think I want something and then I get it and I'm like, wow, I didn't want that at all. Or I didn't want the byproduct that goes along with it. Like it is cool being really lean and not, having multiple abs, but it's also cool to be able to like pick up things that are a lot heavier. You know what I mean? like sometimes when I'll blast through a couple pizzas, the next day I'm like doubling the amount of weight I could lift
Yeah.
when I used to lift heavy weights and stuff. Back, although my gym is now open. Wow, I forgot about that.
Have you gone yet?
No, I just realized it because they charged my credit card.
Right.
And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about you guys. But you know, when you slap down a couple of pizzas, suddenly my bench press, like throw on 50 pounds or whatever, like significantly heavier, more reps, more
Right.
weight, more everything,
More muscle.
more,
And that
more.
like over long term too. So I'm thinking about this a lot because I am going to start cutting, and now I'm going to just try and hang on to muscle instead of adding it. So the whole thing now is getting leaner, not getting bigger and stronger. Try to make your numbers not go down versus
Good luck.
watching.
It's a lot harder than it looks. It's a lot less fun too. I know that sounds stupid, but like watching numbers go up is very video gamey
Yeah,
for your
for
workouts.
sure.
And like
Watching,
it's like doing a pull-up is way more fun than doing a negative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are just terrible.
Although I will say my pull-ups are going to take the heck off because gymnastics are way easier when you start dropping weight. So I've managed to add reps to my pull-ups while adding weight to my body, which means when I get rid of that fat, like
you're just
6
gonna be
reps
flying
is
off
nothing.
the bar.
Yeah. Honestly, that happens. Like there'll even be a day where I'm like bloated and I can't get as many reps out. And I'm pretty sure it's because it's just like lifting all that water is wrecking me.
Yeah. Maybe you'll even be able to do your very first muscle up.
Do we want to wait? This is a tangent, but I really want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay, it ties in. I just completely switched my training. And so now I guess I'm cutting because I am no longer powerlifting, because that would, you want to get beefy when you're powerlifting, moving the numbers up. I'm now doing Olympic lifting. You want to be a little bit more agile, a little more fast twitch. I think it's still fast twitch when you do powerlifting. But I had to switch my training because God, this is so dumb. Delta trainer is having me do a video on my fitness channel. I'm required to train with this remote trainer. He's actually really awesome.
Delta meaning change, or Delta meaning a branch of the Armed Forces?
Meaning this
shape. Or the airline.
Oh, or the bank of a bay, the fertile delta of the
the river, the end of a river. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Nerd. Geography nerd.
Totally was in 7th grade at some point. Okay, so he's like, well, what can we do in a month? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I was supposed to get a muscle up this year, and then COVID happened, and I'm trapped in here. And he's like, just got his mind set on it. He's like, I've taught people to do muscle ups before, never remotely, but like we're gonna do this together, and we can totally do it. Look at my freaking wrists. I've already started, and they're like torn up. Nice. He thinks that we can do this, so it might not be a 1 year goal. This is the 30-day goal, and I'm not. If I have to throw the video out, the evidence is still here on my channel.
I will say that having now done a muscle up for the first time in my life, it was a lot. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't nearly as hard as I was making it. And in fact, it was way more gymnastic technique than strength. In my whole life, I've never been able to do one. I did one the other day. I'm not that much stronger than I've been.
Can we take a second to freak out about that? That's so cool.
Yeah, I was having like a bad day, and I was like, I need a win. I know. I'll figure out how to do a muscle up today. And honestly, it wasn't. I'm not that much. I know it's not a strength thing because I'm not that much stronger than I was like 2 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever.
Skinny girls do it.
Yeah, it's hot shots. What it is it's figuring out how to swing. Figuring out how to pull. You don't do a pull up, pull like a pull down. You're not pulling your hands down. You're like doing more of a pull in front of you.
Yeah.
It's a big time lat. You have to figure out how to swing forward and backwards. Is that what he had you do?
So I'm doing it on the rings. He did a bar muscle up for everyone. Max, send me the clip after this and I will put it in so everyone can watch the majesty.
Yeah.
You're so casual afterward. I never would have guessed that was your first.
I was like, I couldn't believe it. And to be fair, I was at like a public playground, so I didn't want to like squeal like a
What?
little girl. Up here, I was though, to be very, very clear. But no, like I watched a video on how to do it, and I watched I watched like an old gymnastics thing, and you hang on the bar, you swing forward and back with your feet sort of dictating the move. That was a big, big thing for me because it like allowed me to feel how my body was going to go. Then I had to know like it is a significant kick with your feet, so you swing forward with your feet, you kick with your feet, and then you go up like on a 45-degree angle, and then you pull, and then you sort of like push the bar in front of you, and that makes your body swing around the bar. It really wasn't what I thought it looked like. What it looks like is somebody's like, I am so strong. I'm so pull up strong. You know what? I'm just going to keep going. And then they keep going. That's what it looked like in my mind.
Right.
In reality, it seemed, at least the way I did it, was way more gymnastic, way more technique. So if
you did it in a day?
Yeah, I looked it up that morning, or like right before I went on my run, and then I went on my run around. I usually try to go around lunchtime.
Dang.
And then I did it, and then I was like, did I really just do that? And it took a couple of times, what you have to be really careful is sometimes you get like one arm up and the other arm
chicken
under,
wing. That's what the other.
And that's really bad because it like puts all the weight on your one shoulder, and you like catch yourself. You're like, I want to keep going, but it like the catch really messed up my shoulder a little bit. So I was very make sure not to chicken wing at all, because you could chicken wing and then just sort of do it, which I did a couple of times, but I was like, this is stupid. It's hurting my shoulder. And it really was technique, which was crazy. Like I never thought, I didn't think it was that much. I thought it was like 50% strength, 50% technique. And in reality, I would say it's like, I don't know, the technique was a lot more important than I thought it was.
Wow. Crazy. So, also that you learn the technique from just like YouTube.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's just like little things sort of click in your mind. Like you're strong enough to do it. And if you're coordinated, and if you're able to pick up sort of body mechanics, then it's like, if someone explains it to you, it's a lot easier. Same with the iron cross. When you're starting, I'm trying to do an iron cross right now. I can get pretty close, but the way you train it is you start in the middle, and then you like sort of push out and then push back in, and then push out and then push back in. And stuff like you wouldn't think is the right way to do it is the right way to do it. Like, for example, when you're holding the rings, and like you can do this on yours, and if your arms are straight down, you want to like put your palms out, not in. And I was putting them in because that's how I would do a push-up. That's how I would do the end of a muscle up.
Yeah.
But in reality, when you're training for your iron cross, you're holding yourself up by the rings, you want to put your palms forward, your pinkies are curling in towards your body. And that when people explain stuff, people who know what they're doing, it's a huge difference between that and just you messing around with equipment.
Sure, totally.
So yeah, I really feel like that's what it was. It's just somebody explained it to me in a intelligent way, not just me messing around.
You got to teach me. We'll make my trainer feel really bad. I get a bar muscle up in a day from not him.
I mean, you can do a pull-up.
I can.
Yeah.
And I can do a pretty darn low dip. And that's all. This is the middle part, just the in-between.
It really is a kick. I would say it's bigger. Think about your feet. Do that swing thing I was telling you about.
Transfer from your hips to...
Just hold the bar and swing forward and back with your feet leading the way.
Weird, because like when you're kipping, you lead with your hips.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
And you actually want your feet to do it. Oh.
And swinging forward and back really sort of it makes your body feel weird, or the weight transfer feels weird on your body. And you're like, what is this? But that's how you have to do it. And that's how you have to like get into it. So you swing forward and back with your feet leading the way. And then one time on the front, you like kick, and then you like sort of kick like I don't know, like a tadpole. What are those like little fish?
Yeah.
Fish things called? Like... Oh no, a squid. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's like that. Yeah. This is great for the audio listeners. We're just doing like hand motions.
All right, interesting. Yeah, because like I did like a parkour class and the kipping was different. It's not kipping, the swinging was different than the kipping. And I like couldn't get it because I was so used to kipping pull-ups, but you're saying kipping pull-ups are not the way to go to get a muscle up.
It looks like it. It looks like it is. And maybe from like the outside when I was doing it, that's what it looked like. But when I was
But really
feeling
it
my
is
own
lead the
body
feet.
doing it, that's not at all what it felt like.
Interesting.
And it's
Okay.
a big change. And it's weird with stuff like that. That's why you invest in good coaches. That's why you invest in like
Opening YouTube.
well, yes, opening YouTube, but like, you know, like people will say things that don't have a lot of like on paper, it doesn't sound like something important, but to an athlete or to someone trying to learn a physical skill or whatever, it really makes it clicks in their mind. Like when I used to do Olympic lifts and stuff, my coach would say like, make the bar move faster. Like that's a dumb thing to say. Like it doesn't mean anything, you know, like it's the same weight. It's not telling me anything about how my body is set up or where I'm going or whatever. And I was like, okay, dude, thanks a lot. And then I did it and it made me focus on not pulling really hard, but like getting it,
Yeah.
you know, and doing it in the fluid
Exploding.
motion, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it really did. It worked 100%.
Yeah.
And I was dead wrong because I'm an idiot, you know.
Yeah.
But that's why you invest in good coaching, is they have these sort of your brain like gets in the way of how you're either able to or not able to do something, and someone who knows what they're doing can help you get out of that way. So try
Should
the feet
we
thing. Maybe that'll
what?
try the feet thing. That's a good.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good
I'm
step.
going to. I
And
gotta
you
go
feel
outside
really
to the
dainty too, because you're like, ooh, look at me leading with my feet. I feel like one of those ballerinas when you open the jewelry box and it just, you know.
oh, that's great. So should we get coaches then for our cut?
We could just be each other's coach, I suppose.
Fine.
Hey, start cutting.
Eat less.
That'll
or
be
not. I don't
$500,
know.
please.
Yeah. And then you'd pay me back because I'm coaching you too.
Right. Whose rate is higher though? So, well, anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, summer bod.
Summer bod. Yeah.
So the summer bod starts in. I think honestly, summer bod starts Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Oh, right after. Yeah.
No, right before, because you want to be out there. And here's the tough
Oh,
part.
wait.
You
So
want to
then
be
you should
out
have
there.
started cutting like 2 months ago.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
your summer bod needs to be prepared for
Cinco de Mayo. Got it.
the first due date is Cinco de Mayo, because you want to be outside.
I'm not prepared.
You want to be playing cornhole with your friends. You want to be eating chips, having a skinny marg.
Sure. Looking
Oh,
good.
whoops, is this my shirt? Oh, it's gone. Oh, okay, whatever.
Oops.
Via con Dios, you know.
Yeah, this is about my time when I would be. And I always put out a transformation video on my channel, like a check-in every year. And it's like April when I do it. And I shot the picture. It doesn't look as good as last year. It's beefy now.
Oh, I shot the picture. You took a photo. Not like you're an old Hollywood exec. And you're like, I shot the picture. We're just waiting for distribution.
The picture of me, not the video. You dork.
It's one of those snuff pictures. You know what I mean? A lot of muscles, a lot of deltoids.
This is my first like yearly check-in. The people that watch this channel know about this. This is the first time that I'm doing it not having cut. I don't know if I can get it to
How do you feel?
focus. I mean, fine. It's just beefier.
Fine.
I don't know when to cut. I don't want to do it, but I like, because I feel like I want to add more muscle still, but it's like we're getting to like beach is happening. So I think like my cut started yesterday because that's when I started.
Is that why you're doing the cut? Because of the summer bod? Also, can I just tell you right now, my buddy uses an app called FitBod, and it's just an app like, today you're doing this and these are your workouts, and it's a whole involved app. I'm sure it's nice. I don't think there is a huge difference between any of them. I'm sure they would tell me different.
It's a workout app?
It's a workout app. Today is chest and tries. Okay,
great.
Do your set of bench press. Done. And then it has a timer. Okay, next set of blah blah blah. Done.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tracking app. I'm sure it's nice. But it's the fact that it's called FitBod, and He told me what it was, and I was like, Fitbod? Are you getting a Fitbod? And I couldn't stop saying Fitbod like that. And now he called me the other day. He was like, "Hey, so thanks a lot. I say Fitbod every single day now." So when you're naming your app, Fitbod is taken. Just an FYI.
Not
Is that why you're
surprising.
doing your cut though? Is it to get your Fitbod?
Yeah, I get it. Now I'm hearing it. Yeah. Like I'm going to Hawaii soon, and they'll probably be at Santa Monica Beach one time this year, which will also be important.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe Lauren Powell will have a party at some point. I don't
In
know. Will there be
San
events?
Diego?
Should we just keep bulking through this summer because we're not actually going to go to anything?
I don't know. But I'm saying your cut is for
Visual, yeah, of
aesthetics.
course.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not like the only other option is to cut for health reasons. Who would do that? Or
Come on.
for
Come
a
on.
bodybuilding competition, which I am also not doing. So
Yeah, if you have to weigh in. My dad told me he lost a lot of weight. He was like, yeah, I went to my doctor and apparently I had hip problems. And he said I should lose some weight. So I lost like 10, 15 pounds. I was like, wow, how'd you do that? He's like, I stopped eating lunch.
all right.
Well, it's as easy as that, isn't it? Gee whiz,
Love it.
The Fitbod.
What?
So
Well, are you gonna cut or
shit.
not? Do you have reasons for cutting that are
I
hip related?
haven't cut weight in years, if ever. And I know my stupidity is that I cut weight so many times in college for wrestling that I was like, when I was doing those horrible diets, I was like, I am never dieting again. Now, I should diet. I'm a human being. I should lay off the quadruple cheeseburgers every once in a while, but I
Well,
had,
okay,
it's
there's
one of
a
those like I
difference
made.
between like being healthy and actually like trying to lose body fat for aesthetic reasons.
Yeah. No, I haven't cut. I don't usually cut.
You're not at all like slightly fitter in the summer. You're just like
No.
year-round bulk.
Well, it's not like we have a winter, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true.
if we had a winter with snow and jackets and stuff like that, then yeah, I'm sure that would be a different story. But I've jogged outside every week, I suppose, for this whole year. So I don't.
Yeah, I know, crazy.
Uh,
Technically, I've said that
I
I've
think
been bulking.
one thing,
but
you've said that you've been bulking for a year,
like the
12,
past
15
3
months.
years, and this is the only year that I've actually put weight on. Maybe it is COVID related.
How'd you do it? Bananas. Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. I stopped bringing my calories down on not workout days because I used to sort of like have it lower. I still kind of keep it lower, but like it was significantly lower when I wasn't working out, and then I just like stopped doing that.
Well, you got to eat big to get big. I remember my the strength coach at MIT one time. I went to work out there, and he was just sitting there eating this roast beef sub. It must have been as big as his arm. It was one of those Massachusetts places where they're like, "Oh, would you like a medium?" And it's like, boom, And I'm like, "Oh, what's up, Steve? What are you doing?" And he's just honking away at this roast beef sub. Roast beef just flying everywhere. It's disgusting. He's like, getting stronger. Oh, that's disgusting. But yeah, let me get a bite.
Bite of your stronger. Oh, that's great.
So yeah, you do actually have to put on some bulk. Do you feel bulky? Are you walking sideways through doorways now? How many?
I wish I kept it in my shoulders.
How many airline seats did you buy when you're going to Hawaii?
Well, the trick is just to be big enough that nobody wants to sit next to you, but you don't have to buy the extra one. You're just kind of spilling over,
That's one trick. My trick was always to just wear a sleeveless shirt and then show up sweaty and just be like, "What's up? Sorry about that. I'm a little hungover." And then that middle seat just squinches up real tight.
Squinches. Oh, it's great.
Are you going to Hawaii for a bodybuilding competition?
Oh, God. I mean, now I'm gonna start looking into it. Heck, no, like vacation, and I might do some like fitness videos, but no reason other than, I mean, I guess I don't know. How do Hawaiians feel about body composition? Do I need to show off there?
They like surfing.
Yeah. Oh, here's what's one thing that I was thinking about.
That's my scoop on Hawaii.
They're serving flowers. I'll find out for you. Volcanoes. When you're bulking, you're technically not supposed to cheat.
Pineapples. What?
Really great host, staying on
What do you
track
mean?
or making
You're not
sense.
supposed to cheat on
Cheat
your
days. You
diet?
don't cheat day. You're just always cheating, right?
It's
So
just
you don't ever
always
have like a
blah,
day
blah,
where you
blah.
go freaking ape crap. 'Cause I don't want to believe that. Ape shoot.
Okay. Ape shot.
So now that I am cutting, it can be like, okay, a bunch of days in a row of like being on track,
Yeah.
and then get nutso and bloated for a day.
I never found that I liked the 6 days tight diet one day.
No, it doesn't work. Well, for women,
I
for
didn't
sure.
feel good. I
That's how I
really
feel.
felt like crap the next, like a lot worse. It's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. You got to get in shape for whatever you're doing. So if you want to be good at eating crappy food, you gotta do it all
You
the
got to
time.
do it. You got to stay dedicated.
But for some reason, I always felt better like if I ate a full day of eating clean and then like have a handful of M&Ms at the end of the night or something, that felt a lot better than or a lot more manageable for me than like super clean 5-6 days and then just a train wreck at seventh day.
Well, that's the idea too of like a cheat meal versus a cheat day.
Yeah.
But then you see The Rock just like ordering like an entire
I wish
Pizza
he would
Hut.
sell us pictures of what else he eats. I bet it's chicken in a Tupperware with some steamed vegetables, but like a bucket of it, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say Tupperware or more like a garbage can.
Like a suitcase. Yeah.
Plastic suitcase.
Garbage can, like a rolling one.
This
It's
is
funny.
a big Tupperware.
I talked to a buddy of mine who is full vegan, and I was like, we're talking about protein, we're talking about meals and blah blah blah. And he was like, yeah, I just eat a salad for lunch and salad for dinner. It's easy. And I'm like, how big are your salads? And he holds up his hands as though he's, as though he's holding a baby, or like a toddler. And I'm like, what is that? And he's like, that's a salad bowl. And I'm like, that's a what? And so I think it's one of those things where, yes, eating vegetables and eating clean is not satisfying at all. But if you eat enough of them, you'll get full.
Yeah.
Which was a big mental thing for me, realizing that eventually, yes, I would get full of eating if I ate just vegetables.
Yeah. To be fair, during my bulk, I'm eating super clean. Just like really healthy stuff and the same thing every day. I know you're familiar. It's just more of it.
Yeah, it is just volume. And I think what a lot of people struggle with, myself included, was how am I going to get full from this meal if I don't have a slab of chicken on there, or if I don't have just a burger, I need a side of fries. It's
or like a shake.
You can eat a bowl of broccoli and it'll suck, but you
but
will
if you cover
get
it
full eventually. If you
put olive oil on it, you'll feel fuller, and also that's clean.
Yeah,
good healthy fats.
But the fear is you'll never quote unquote feel full. The fear is you won't feel full. That's what I said.
So Brian, the trainer that we had on, I don't know if you've seen his posts lately, Brian Borstein, but he's cutting right now. It seems like he just started, and his thing is like, I know he's already shredded.
He's
so
like
stupid.
He's a superhero already.
And what I was fascinated by was that he's like, I don't want to track. It seemed like he has this huge aversion to tracking, right? Which I love it, because now I know exactly what I should have, and it's just like takes it off my mind. He doesn't want to track at all. He's like, I'm cutting, but I'm not going to track. I'm just going to go to bed hungry. That sounds like hell. What? Are you kidding me? No. You're tracked so
Yeah.
you can eat more, not oh. And he's like,
Also,
it's
forget
working, and
about
I'm gonna go
tracking
down
for
the
something. Going to bed hungry is brutal.
and that,
Brutal.
and then you wake up the next morning and you gotta do it again. Oh.
You wake up the next morning and your stomach starts growling, and you're like, "I'm so sorry, buddy. Oh my god, you want some water?" Go to bed hungry was one of the hardest things because you can't fall asleep. It's so
Yeah.
hard to fall asleep. Although he's got a little kid, so maybe at some
Just knocked
point, I
out.
think sleeping is a necessity for him, whereas
A
it's a
gift.
commodity for me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
All
yeah,
right,
going to
fair.
bed sleepy when we were cutting weight was one of the hardest things in the world because you're just sitting there and
Yeah.
you're staring at the ceiling and you're like, well, my stomach's probably eating. What is it eating now? It's probably eating a lung.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
burning
working
through
its
it.
way up.
Yeah, that's tough. When like I'll do actually just a couple of days ago I did a 48-hour fast. I'll do that occasionally, maybe like once a month. And the
Mhm.
hardest part is from like 9 p.m. till 11 when I go to sleep, just like that little window. That's also
Mhm.
the window when I usually eat. But if I can get to bed, next day's fine.
Mhm.
It's like right before bed is
And also you're home and you're like, well, the cabinet's right there.
yeah, you got
We
nothing
could just
else to do.
go graze a little bit. I'm just sitting there on my computer. It's right there. That's so tough.
So I would say my advice is actually don't go to bed hungry. Eat at that time. I would say eat later. That's what I do. And like I don't want my cut to be miserable.
Well, I would say that it is miserable, but effective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you can get through that hungry falling asleep, it's really, really nice because then you get a couple extra hours on top of your,
The next morning, yeah, you're not gonna be like starving.
yeah. So it's a really nice little mini fast there.
Hmm.
So what are your tips for the summer bod? 1, May 1st is your due date. 2,
Yeah, right.
eat
Do it slowly is
cleanish.
my huge tip,
Very good.
honestly. Because like if you dive into it, yeah, you'll lose like a good chunk right at the beginning, and then your metabolism will be like, screw you. And then you won't lose any
Yeah,
more.
you
And now you're
slam
stuck
shut.
eating that lower amount. That sucks.
I would say a safe thing, the way we always used to say was you shouldn't really lose more than 1 or 2 pounds per week.
Sure. And girls less. I'm
And I
aiming for
think,
like half a pound.
oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And actually, now that I think about it, I think the same thing goes for gaining weight. I wouldn't plan on gaining more than a pound a week if I'm trying to put on weight.
It's taken me
But
years.
but I think a lot of people are, yeah, exactly. And be conscious of water weight. And don't even
Mhm.
track your weight. I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
way
we've talked
you're
about this a lot.
stupid.
It's like not that important. But if you're going to like keep an eye on it, plan on like a
Make it
pound
long
a
term,
week,
yeah.
make it long term. Take water into consideration. Like if you're not down a pound, maybe like pee a couple
Yeah,
times,
try
then weigh
tomorrow.
yourself again, and
Yeah.
whoops, there you go. There's the pound. Like it's not a huge issue.
I'm also honestly gonna drop just like 100 calories a day. That's my cut. And then maybe a few weeks from now, another 100 calories. It's like that small.
That's wild.
I don't know. Well,
It's
that's
so
how I
funny that you're
got.
doing it that way. The way I do it is I like try to make sure that a meal is healthy. It's
Oh yeah, you
binary
do it
for
by eating
me.
clean. Yeah.
A healthy meal versus a not healthy meal. And it's a 1 or a 0, or
Mm-hmm.
in reality,
All or
it's
nothing.
in my mind, it's a 1 or a -1. I
Yeah.
really treat it like sleep debt, kind of like fat debt, I guess, or fat boy debt, whatever you want to call it. Like if I can string together if I can get my debt down, that feels like a more manageable way to do it. Now, I wish I had a nice app to track, like the Rise sleep,
Ah,
like the
what
Rise
is your
sleep
fat
app.
boy debt?
What's your fat boy debt? Yeah, exactly.
One meal
But
counts against another.
I think that's a nice way to do it too, because then it takes out a
Sure.
lot of the. Yours is a lot.
I'm already tracking. If you're
Yeah,
not
you're already
tracking,
tracking
then
a ton.
don't listen to me. Just
But it's funny that you track in your mind, tracking it that close feels like it takes stuff off your
yeah,
plate,
it's freedom.
pun intended. but it takes off your mental strain.
Mhm.
Whereas I think a lot of people would feel like, I don't even know how to start doing that. I don't know how to get, man, if only there was some sort of an app to track those
Right.
things.
We should do an episode where I calculate your macros and teach you how to track them. I feel like that would be a helpful example for people. Let us know in the comments if you want that. Intro guide to macros.
Mac Bros.
Macros. We can make an app.
So lose weight.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a question. What would you say defines a summer bod?
Definition.
How would you
Defines a
how
summer
would you
bod.
describe it? Oh.
I would say 12% body fat or less for women, 6 for men. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I mean, looking good with a shirt off, maybe like decent angles on Instagram still turn out well. Yeah. How do you define a summer bod?
Blonde. No. No, I was wondering because I wonder how you would versus how the normal person would. I think the normal person, normal meaning novice is a better way to say it, I guess. I think the novice would say, abs, easy.
Yeah, sure.
Which is, that's true. I think abs typically make someone look better. Now, there are caveats, of course.
Is it on a dude or a woman?
Right. That's a big, yeah.
Dudes having abs is not impressive. That you guys have it easy. You can just like decide to have abs, just like your dad decided to have better hips.
I know. Or is the dude extremely skinny? Is he gone?
Oh, right. Yeah. And he's not really jacked.
I'm sure, there are people who are, a lot of starving people have abs right before they die, I assume.
Yeah. You sent me a TikTok that was like, abs doesn't mean that you're strong. It just means you're hungry. Screw you.
I completely agree. Or honestly, and I know this from experience, not firsthand, friend experience, so secondhand, abs typically means you love your steroids. So that's
interesting. Abs or steroids thing? See, I thought just like
another way.
Bigger, bulkier was steroids, but actually being like leaner.
Well, those abs that like go out like a turtle, like a ninja turtle. Like a ninja turtle. And coincidentally, if you ever see someone with outer abs, you should just run because they are gonna there's no fighting that person. That person will destroy you in a fight
with their abs.
2 things you should run from: 1, outer abs; 2, cauliflower ear. That's it. Just if you're ever in a scuffle with somebody with cauliflower ear, just turn tail and run as fast as you can, and hope they weren't also on the track team. Otherwise, you're just so screwed. Yeah, I think the normal person would say abs. Yeah. I would say, other than abs, what is an easy way to get your summer bod? See if you can do some shoulder work. I think shoulders make you look a lot bigger, a lot faster.
Yeah. Well, for women, obviously, it's booty work. Those oblique things to get rid of your love handles, which is not a thing that doesn't actually work. Targeted fat loss is a lie.
It's a ruse. Are you talking about those like band? Oh, those
where you're like
thing you slap on your stomach, or are you talking about the band that you put around
which, by the way, we should test out to see if it works. God,
yeah, definitely.
See if you can get your summer bod.
The like rubber band that goes around your legs.
That's a decent booty workout.
Yeah, that's a resistance band as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Which one are you talking about?
When you just stand here with 2 weights and you go like this to like target your love handles. Great.
What was called?
I feel cutter already, ready for the summer. Because of those, I don't know what they're called. Oblique.
Tipsy
seesaws.
Yeah, that's what I said. Seesaws.
So technically, we both have our summer bod already. Then, if that's the rules, you got delts, I got abs.
Fit bod. Summer bod.
Do you get DEXA scans?
No, I've never had one.
I used to get them like every 3 months. It's been about a year, no, half a year since I've gone.
Well, they opened?
No, I'm lying. It's been 3 months. I need to go again. I go pretty often, and I do want to go right before my cut to see if I actually gained muscle or if it's just all in my love handles.
Oh.
But I did gain weight. I just don't know, I mean, I feel like it's in the right spots and also the wrong spots. You got to gain both. Have you heard of P ratio? This is really interesting.
No.
It is the ratio
ratio
of fat to PV. What's that?
PV.
Get out. I don't need to be bleeping anything. We're not talking about
Purely vascular.
Anyway, P ratio is the ratio from fat to muscle that you gain during a bulk.
That you gained.
Yeah.
Or what's your ratio changed to, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to gain as much muscle as possible with this little fat, and like if the ratio is right, you'll actually, if you're doing a lean bulk and like somehow nail that perfectly, then you'll actually lose fat and gain muscle, which I've only done once in all of my every 3 month cycle of DEXA scans. I've done that once. I was like, oh my God.
Did you know?
What do I do?
Did you know? How did you do
it? I like, you go there to figure out what to change.
What did I do?
Yeah. And I'm like, don't change anything. And you get very nervous. Like, I've dialed it in perfectly. Don't blow it. Whatever. Then
but
COVID.
What did you do? Who knows what you did? Maybe you were or weren't stressed enough. Maybe you were, or you got just enough, or just too little sleep, or maybe you know, who knows?
Or maybe that extra pre-workout like burned more calories than I would have. That's another thing. I don't think I should be using pre-workout on my bulk, because you should use it on a cut to help burn stuff, right?
Oh, I don't know. I always treated pre-workout like, this is going to help me do my workout. This is forcing my hand. This is like,
I only use it on cardio. Forcing your hand on lifting?
Forcing your hand on doing
anything.
the actual workout.
Getting through
no matter
emails.
What you're doing. Yeah. It felt like I'm standing on the edge of a cliff, and I'm like, should I jump or should I not jump? And if I jumped and I land in the water, I've completed a workout. And pre-workout felt like someone behind me being like, 1, and just shoving me as hard as they can.
It's like a time bomb in your body. That's how I felt when I getting vaccinated, where you like put it in.
Super soldier.
Which, by the way, video of me getting vaccinated coming soon to the Fitness Outrageous channel. You get the vaccination, and then you just have like 12 hours to wait until you feel terrible. And with pre-workout, it's like, well, I'm committed now. And then like,
that's it. Here I am.
10 minutes later, you're scratching your face off.
Should we do a definitive a breakdown of what the best pre-workout is? We should, right?
I think that should be its own video. Yeah, for sure. And we should test them all out. We can't do it in order though. It's not like a beer tasting. If you do, I did a pre-workout tasting. It was called the Fit Expo, and I felt like crap biking home. My heart.
The 9th one, you're like, whoa, this one's great. Yeah, I guess it would have to be like over 9 or 10 days. How would you even do that? Oh God, it sounds like
a great idea.
Giving me heart palpitations about how good of an idea it is. Yeah, for sure.
Why isn't Total Fitheads sponsored by some pre yet? Come on, we'll get it together.
Well, we can't accept a pre-workout sponsorship now because our rating system needs to be pure.
Oh yeah, it's true. The Fitheads trust us. We need to do this without getting paid. And then whomever we like the best, we'll hit them up.
Right. Or they all pay us, and guess what? It's a 10-way tie.
We love them all. You just mix
it works or it doesn't.
All of them. This happened to me with the healthy alcohols thing. I tested a bunch of them, and then the one that I really liked, I like emailed them personally, being like, "Hey, so I would love to chat about you to my audience."
FYI.
And I'm doing another healthy alcohols video too coming up. Like I keep finding these companies that are like it's new in the beverage industry since seltzers. Now everyone wants to drink without a hangover. And honestly, it does make a difference. Is that what a
seltzer does? It doesn't give you a hangover?
No, seltzer still gives you a freaking hangover, but there are other ones that don't.
Well, but I thought what the seltzer was I thought the appeal of the seltzer in theory was that it was 0 or very, very low calorie.
Right.
Versus a
Right.
beer
Exactly.
is, how many calories is a beer? Like 50, 90?
50 depends. Like a Budweiser is like
Bud.
140. A Bud Light, it would be 99
Yeah.
ish. How do you not know this? Stouts can be like 300. A Blue
Well,
Moon is
don't waste my
320.
time drinking
Ladies, you think you have a
stouts.
light beer with Blue Moon? Stop it.
Hey, now there's an orange slice in there. So
Help me. She's
basically, yeah.
Well, anyway, it all started because of you. You sent me that Pulp Culture, which ended up being my favorite one. But you sent me that. You're like, look at this. This you don't even remember. You sent me an article saying like, check out this alcohol that doesn't give you, that claims to not give you a hangover. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then I found so many more.
So
Some of them did, some of them didn't. But all of them are
you
like big
drinking-
on
are you-
zero sugar too, which is I think helpful. Zero sugar, sulfite sometimes.
That's one of those things though. It's always like that old wives' tale. It's like the old bachelorette's tale when you're out drinking and they're like, it's gonna really get you drunk is the sugar, and you're like,
Yeah.
really,
That's
sweetheart, because I think it's the 9 neon blue drinks that I just had.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the alcohol that's gonna give me the hangover. But so although it could be both, I guess I don't really know.
Yeah, well, and the difference between you always drink whiskey, but supposedly you get less hungover with like white clear liquor, clear like gin would be
Clear
better.
liquor is for rich women on diets, as I understand it. But I
Yeah.
hear that any sort of clean or any sort of pure alcohol
Is still better
around
than
the same
anything else, yeah.
calorie first, and still way better than a mixed drink, let alone one of those chocolate martinis. I used to get,
whatever.
there was a bar that I knew somebody who used to work at this bar in Boston, and they used to give me these martinis, and they were really good, but it was like a blended piece of cake. You know what I mean? Like it was chocolate, then they had like chocolate stripes along the top and whipped cream. And I'm guessing they put some sprinkles in there too. Like, why not?
Sure.
And
And
I'm like,
some
yeah,
alcohol, maybe.
this is technically a drink. Can I get a fork? Thanks.
Were they all
getting-
alcoholic? Like,
There's some vodka in there for sure.
Okay.
Because you'd sip at the bottom of it and you'd be like, ooh, there it is. And you're like, oh, there's the vodka.
What am I going to get first? Drunk or diabetes?
Yeah, it's a race.
It's a race. Well, anyway.
That was fun. Yeah, but so I drink straight whiskey, but I feel like that it's easier. It's faster. It's faster. That's the first reason I started doing it. It's way easier than trying to think of a drink. A lot of times I like cocktail, but I don't like 9 cocktails. You know what I mean? I like one.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that was nice. And now I'm like, ugh, I don't know if I want more cinnamon or whatever the hell I want.
You introduced me to the concept of like, oh, I just can't do a power hour because it's too much volume. Not because it's too much alcohol, but it's like actually if you had 7 shots of whiskey, you'd be fine. But 7 beers in an hour, not okay.
No, not even close. That's what I always wondered about those guys who, when you do a beer funnel, or beer bong, they used to have ones that were like 2 or 3 stories tall. The top floor of the dorm would have it in his room, and the hose goes all the way down the side of the building, and people in colleges line up and do beer funnels that are like 2 or 3 stories tall. And I'm like, how is that much liquid going in like, that's a story's worth of liquid. You think you could just take that down? And I can't even tell you how many times I've seen somebody beer funnel finish and then immediately puke. And it's not even puke, it's beer that just went
It's
into
just like ejected back out the same way it went in.
Yeah. Your body is like a spring loaded, like, no, thank you. And it just goes down. It just shoots right out of you. And you can tell. I mean, you smell it. It doesn't smell like puke. It doesn't smell like anything. It just smells like the literal same Bud Light.
Ejected Bud Light.
So I always worry about
God.
That's a.
Remember beer bongs? When you just put your mouth on it like everyone else? It's like a mask, but you share it kind of.
Oh my God, it's worse. It's like a straw that you all share. And you put your mouth like, and some people will put their mouth like in it. You know what I mean? That was the stupidest shit in the world. And then just sprays everywhere. We could do a beer bong. We'd have to get our own top.
What, like with our TF logo?
No, like at the end of the tube, you put your
Oh yeah,
attachment
yeah,
on,
yeah.
and then you
That makes
take yours
sense.
off, and so it's sanitary, guys. It's totally sanitary.
It's so fine.
But we're still beer bonging beer.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And you show up to the party with your own beer bong
You just keep it around your
mouthpiece.
neck like a necklace. Yeah.
It's the future.
They're like, "What is that? A rape whistle?" You're like, "No, yes, it is."
Honestly, that's better otherwise. Uh, all right. Well,
Summer bod. How do we get to? Oh, beer bongs because you're beer bonging it in the summer, obviously.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. That's probably how we ended up there. Good thing I made a bullet points about what we're supposed to talk about.
And did we hit them all? Or you just write them down afterwards?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I got to get back to not eating.
Not eating is a good one. So let's sum up how to get your summer bod. 1, start in February. 2,
Yeah.
drink a ton of water.
Mm-hmm.
3, eat clean. Figure out your diet, whether that's eating clean.
If you're cutting
honest.
calories, do it really slowly and over the course
Slow
of
cut.
time. 100 calories every couple of weeks.
Now, what if you need a summer bod like today and you're woefully unprepared? Wear clothing that accentuates whatever attractive quality you have.
Mhm.
So, for example, if you have shoulders and no chest, maybe a sleeveless shirt is a good point. If you have skinny arms but shredded abs because you're a skinny little tree trunk, get one of those like long sleeve shirts that's also a belly
Yeah,
shirt.
I
Do you
got
know
a couple
what
of
I'm talking
those, honestly.
about? I feel like there's
Like-
Gymshark ones, or like there's
Mm-hmm.
something. They look really good.
Yeah.
If you have great calves, maybe some capri pants.
Yeah. Perfect. Love it.
And then if you need something else, we already talked about towel curls. Oh, just bang out some push-ups right before you got to hit the beach. Oh,
Mhm.
or push your hands together as hard as you can for 30 seconds.
That's nonsense. So then what?
And
Somebody
then
thinks you're praying.
Then you get pumped. Yeah. Huge pump.
Does that work?
Oh my God, yeah. It's called an isometric exercise. Push your hands together as hard as you can.
I'm just
Harder.
going to hurt my wrists.
Yeah, if you don't, well, you're not pushing hard enough. Or do this one. So push down with one hand and up with the other hand.
Yeah, but what if my right hand's stronger than my left hand? Oh no!
Then your left hand has to work harder. Well, then you switch sides. And then you keep score. Isometric workout right before the pool. That's a really, really good way to
That's a
get
good one.
pump.
Yeah. Or just
then-
don't cut. Honestly, here's your advice. It's
Don't
still
cut at
kind of COVID. Coachella's not happening. Why are you just keep putting on more muscle or eating whatever and listening to us on the couch? That's fine.
Yeah, that totally counts.
Love yourself. Maybe
your
I'll keep
bod.
bulking.
Love your bod. Fit bod.
Fit bod.